Good morning, baseball way of lifers. Happy Saturday to you all. How did the trade deadline treat you yesterday? Yes, it was one of those days that'll live in infamy, and everywhere else for that matter. What a day. What a day. Now, if you're like me and you watched it on MLB Network, the whole scenario play out, it was one of a kind. I mean, I've never seen anything like it as far as trades were concerned. I was blown away. And anyway, my hair is still like settling down from the whole big mess. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And it was probably the best non game experiences I've ever had as a baseball fan. It was amazing. I've never seen so many big teams go after so many big fish and so many transactions take place. It was incredible. Great, great drama. Actually, at that point, the games itself weren't even exciting to me. I was still coming off the trade deadline high. I'm a Met fan. They lost this. I didn't even care. I was just soaking in not only the Baez trade, but everything that went through, letting it all decipher and sink in. I've never seen anything like it. Now, Bruce Barons comes in and says the Bryant trade was a good move by the Giants. Well, you know what, Bruce? A lot of teams made a lot of good moves yesterday. Now, of course, we all think they're good moves when they happen, but we'll see what transpires because if a team has a good trade, more likely than not, the other team did not have a good trade. So we'll see what transpires from all this. It's going to be fun, that's for sure, without a doubt. And it's going to make the final 2 months of the season very, very interesting. Now, I got to tip off my hat to MLB Network. Now, with this whole COVID thing going on, I've been working from home. So I have the MLB Network on almost all the time during the day, and I soak up into all the information. And they presented it very, very well. They were on top of every major breaking stories. Ken Rosenthal, John Feinstein, I think that's how you say his name, right? John Feinstein. Uh, who else there? Well, they have a cast of thousands always. JP Morosi, who I like, very funny and very entertaining, as long as with the studio hosts, Harold Reynolds, uh, who's the nighttime guy? I forget now. Oh, geez. I go blank. Sometimes. That's what happens when you get old. But it was entertaining. And I never expect everything that happened to happen. You heard about players going to teams that just didn't work out, and players going to teams that you didn't even expect them to be traded. Like who, before all this happened, would think that the Dodgers would acquire Max Scherzer and Trey Turner from the Nationals for 4 players? That has to be the biggest trade deadline deal of them all. And you got potentially, I don't want to say Trey Turner is a Hall of Famer, but we're talking about a potential Hall of Fame player in Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, who's a definite Hall of Famer, being traded at the trade deadline to a team which some say is the most talented in baseball to begin with. How did Dodgers keep doing it? I'll never know. Now, they know that Dodgers, when they need a starting pitcher, they're probably not as deep as they would like to be, probably deeper than 80% of the ball clubs out there. Dustin May is out for the year. What an electric arm he has. Clayton Kershaw's on the injury list. And who really thinks Trevor Bauer is going to pitch again? Money wasted on that deal, that's for sure. But and Julio Urias, is he going to run out of gas? Because he's about a week away from having thrown as many innings this season as he did in the last 3 seasons combined when he threw 138 and 2/3. But Max Scherzer, this guy, he is something else. He's a beast. Let's face it. And he's in his age 36 season, and he's been fantastic. He's posting a 2.76 ERA with a 34% strikeout rate. And that's basically the same rate he had with Washington for his first 6 years. So it's tough when a team like the Nationals and the fans have to part way with Scherzer. But what we didn't expect him to do was also trade Turner, who is definitely one of the top 3 shortstops in baseball. And now he's going to be playing second base. Well, I think if they all goes well, he'll be their shortstop last year. But where does that leave Seager for next year? But that just blew my mind the way that deal was even made. Dodgers did give up some prospects. Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray. But when you get two players like that who are going to make an impact like that, it is amazing. It is amazing what happened. Now, how about the White Sox? The White Sox are in it to win it. And how often does a team that's a crosstown rival trade you one of the best relievers in baseball in that given year to their crosstown rival like the Cubs did for Nick Madrigal and Codi Heuer? Now, it's amazing. They got Kimbrel and Liam Hendriks. They have probably two of, I don't know, the top 5 relievers in baseball right now. And come playoff time, that's going to be something. And they have some good relievers, Ryan Tepera, Aaron Bummer, and Michael Kopech. I mean, that may be one of the best bullpens on paper that I've ever seen. And let's not forget, they have the American League's best starting rotation. So everyone's talking about the AL East with the Red Sox, the Rays, and the Yankees, but the best team in the American League, and maybe even baseball, maybe in the American League Central, and the Chicago White Sox. The pitching staff there already has the highest strikeout rate in baseball, and they are stacked. Now, the trade didn't come cheaply. Madrigal's out for the season. He's a number 4 overall pick, but he can't be a free agent until 2026, so they got locked him. In his first game with in the pros, he was not bad. Had little power, making good but not great contact, and he had a plus OPS. But he'll be a starter for the Cubs, that's for sure. And we'll see what happens. Maybe they got their third baseman to replace Kris Bryant, who went to the Giants for 2 prospects. So it's amazing what the Giants did there. I mean, they came out and they wheeled and dealed, and that was like the last deal, major deal of the day. So everyone was holding their cards until the final draw, I guess. But Kris Bryant's going to be a welcome addition to the Giants because Brandon Belt and Evan Longoria are injured. And left field is having basically a mediocre performance for the Giants. And Bryant can play all over the field at various times. So he's the perfect solution to keep the Giants going, keep that engine running. And after a down 2020, Bryant's posting a 134 OPS plus, and that's almost exactly his career average. So you're getting what Kris Bryant normally does in a given year. So that may be the perfect match for the Giants, without a doubt. And that one was the one that everyone was talking about going in. But I think what people didn't expect was the José Berríos trade for Simeon, Woods-Richardson, and Austin Martin. Now, this one's going to be questionable. The Blue Jays got the pitcher they wanted, but the Blue Jays are 9.5 games out of the AL East and 4.5 games out in the wild card. And they gave up Martin, who was the number overall 5 pick last year, the 5th pick in the draft last year. And that's a huge price to pay. Now, compared to the Dodgers, who basically gave up 2 big prospects for a year and a half of Turner in the next 2 months of Scherzer. But Berríos, he's a big deal. And getting him is really going to help the Blue Jays. How much, and as far as their push for the pennant, remains to be seen. But he's only 27 years old. And the Blue Jays had a lot of offense, but they've had pitching problems. And they partially addressed the other moves with Brad Hand and Joakim Soria. And rotation for the Blue Jays next year in 2022 is looking pretty damn good. Hyunjin Ryu, Berríos, and Alek Manoah, if he's healthy. Robbie Ray, if he continues with how he's pitching. Nate Pearson, a prize prospect who's had some injury problems. So the Blue Jays are going to be a team to be reckoned with going forward. That's for sure. And the Yankees, how about the Yankees? They went out and got 2 left-handed bats. Now, Joey Gallo was out hitting all the left-handed bats and home runs for the Yankees this year. So having Joey Gallo basically doubles the Yankee output from the left side if you count him with all the home runs the Yankees have hit. And the only thing with Gallo is he strikes out a lot, but he still has 138 OPS. So when he's hot, and I guess he's like all the other bats in the lineup, but now they got 2 more power hitters in Rizzo, and they got Gallo. Not to mention Judge, Stanton. If they all stay healthy, they got guys, when they're all hot, the Yankees are going to put murderous numbers. Nothing is, a lot of these guys strike out a lot too. So if you get a good pitcher in the postseason who knows how to strike out guys, it's going to hurt you a little bit. That's my one main concern with the Yankees if they do get to the postseason. There's a lot of guys that strike out a lot in that lineup. But the good thing is Gallo strikes out, but he doesn't into double plays. The Yankees have hit into the most double plays in baseball this year, 97, plus they're striking out. But he's a welcome bat. And Javier Baez and Trevor Williams for Pete Crow Armstrong. I think a lot of Met fans were expecting to see, excuse me, I get a sip here. We're expecting to see Kris Bryant, but it looks like it's going to be a keystone combination with Lindor and Baez for the Mets this year. It's been a weird season for Baez. He only had a 238 on-base percentage last year, and he only has a 290 on-base percentage this year. So he doesn't walk. He does supply a lot of power. In the last 150 games, he's hit 30 home runs, and he's fantastic defensively. And he has baseball savvy on the base pass. We've seen some of the plays on the highlight film this year. So he's a good guy to jack up that club with Lindor. So I think it's a spark the Mets need. I just don't like Baez's on-base percentage, but we'll see how it works out. And the Mets got a pitcher, Trevor Williams. He's injured. He's been injured the last few years, but he did have a couple good years with the Pirates. Now, what was shocking this trade deadline was Anthony Rizzo going to the Yankees. Who would have thought Rizzo would beat the Yankees? So now they added the 2 lefty bats, and that's going to be good for that ballpark. And we'll avoid missing a lot of time for the Yankees. This is going to be huge. Rizzo's got a great defensive glove, decent bat. He's a good man to have in the lineup, maybe your number 2 hitter, and they're going to improve a lot. And how about the Red Sox? Kyle Schwarber, they got him in that fire sale with the Nationals are having. So it's good to see Kyle Schwarber in the mix in the American League. Now, how he fits into the outfield DH rotation remains to be seen. Red Sox really need a first baseman more than anything, and he's only played there once, so I don't think he'll be their first baseman. But they have his bat, and we know he was going obscene with the home runs. He had 16 homers in 21 games before being injured. And then the Mariners acquired Diego Castillo from the Rays for JT Chargot and Austin Shenton. I don't get that one because the Rays basically traded their best reliever. I don't get that one, but we'll see. Because Castillo had a 2.33 ERA and 72 strikeouts in 58 innings the last 2 years, and he was under control for next 3 years. So that's unlike the Rays. Usually they hold on to him until they want the big money. So what'll change in what the Rays are doing there with that? So I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. And how about the White Sox? They got Cesar Hernandez. If you're a Cleveland fan, you must be feeling as dejected as National and Cub fans are. But for Cleveland, it's been a slow bleed. They keep getting rid of everyone eventually. And that's sad to see. Do you want to see Cleveland put all the talent they've given away on that team? But what are you going to do? The White Sox need a second baseman, I guess. Hernandez flies under the radar because he is playing with Cleveland. He's a good bat. He's got more pop than you think. He has 18 homers this year, and he's pretty good defensively. Not a Gold Glover by any means. It's a minor deal, but for the White Sox, it's just another piece in their puzzle that will help them keep going. And up at the A's, they acquired Yan Gomez and Josh Harrison from the Nationals for 3 prospects. So Nationals just got out the broom and started cleaning. They were cleaning the house yesterday. I don't think they left any dry spots or dirty spots in the house. And it's a good move. Gomes is a good part-time player. And the good thing about him is Sean Murphy's a top-notch catcher, and Gomes will give Murphy a good rest now and then because he's a great backup, and they don't have to worry about putting all that workload on Murphy. And Josh Harrison's a good hitter. He provides some pop, and he can play second, third, and all three outfield spots. And the way the A's play ball, that's a good thing to have. That is a good thing to have, without a doubt. And how about the Braves? They got Adam Duvall for the Marlins for Alex Jackson. They acquired Eddie Rosario from Cleveland. Again, Cleveland dumping for the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. And they acquired Richard Rodríguez from Pittsburgh for pitcher Ricky DeVito and Bryce Williams. And they acquired Jorge Soler. Remember, have you watched the highlights this week? Soler hit like moonshots this week for Casey Kalich. So the Braves made a lot of trades, not really predominantly superstar, but they kind of rebuilt the team. And they needed to, with Acuna injured, Ozuna injured, Christian Pache demoted. So they basically reinvented their outfield. And for 2 months, it may work out for them. Duvall, don't forget, he played with the Braves in 19 and 20, and he had 22 homers for the Marlins this year. So I'm surprised that I guess the Marlins are kind of throwing in the towel. But it was a good deal for the Braves if Duvall can keep hitting those home runs. And Soler, who's basically a DH. Now, they did the same thing when they acquired Ozuna. You're not going to have him for his defense. Unfortunately, in the National League, there is no DH. So it's going to be interesting how Soler fits into that lineup. But he slugged .561 in July. And Rodríguez, he could add bullpen depth to that team. So it's going to be interesting there. And the Phillies got what they wanted. They got pitching, Kyle Gibson, Ian Kennedy, and Hans Cruz for Spencer Howard and 2 prospects. Now, Spencer Howard was a highly touted prospect for the Phillies. So we'll see what happens there. Kenny's a reliever, and we know the Phillies need relievers. They are hurting as far as relievers. And Howard, they gave up. He was a top 30 prospect as recently as last year. But he's kind of fallen under the radar again. But big trade. They need the pitching. Zach Eflin is injured, and you can't keep putting out guys like Matt Moore and Vince Velasquez who have a combined 5.87 ERA out there much longer. So they needed pitching badly, and Gibson was having a fantastic year. He has a 2.87 ERA, and he made his first All-Star game appearance this year. So that's definitely an upgrade. And Danny Duffy, that one flew under the radar with that big splash with Turner and Scherzer. But Danny Duffy coming from the Royals is huge. Danny Duffy, again, is one of those guys that people don't realize how good he's been pitching this year. He was good back when the Royals made their runs in 2014 and 2015. So hopefully he can keep it up. And what else? John Lester. They even got rid of John Lester to Nationals, and he went to St. Louis. St. Louis, I don't know. I guess they just wanted a pitcher, just like the Yankees acquired Andrew Heaney for 2 prospects. I'm not so sure about Andrew Heaney. He hasn't impressed me at all. Since he joined the Angels rotation in 2018, he's made 78 starts and posted a 4.60 ERA. But maybe the Yankees see something we don't. The Brewers acquired Daniel Norris, good pitcher. And like the Brewers need more pitching. But we'll see what happens. He's been hurt a little bit, but he has potential, and we'll see what happens there. But in the Cardinals, J.A. Happ, another one who's still kicking the can. Cardinals are going for all the bargain basements, I guess. They got him from the Twins for John Gant and Evan Sisk. But it was crazy. It was crazy. Now, who do I think were the big winners in all this? Well, the 5 teams that everyone's talking about, the Braves, because they rebuilt their outfield economically. They were a big winner. The Brewers, when they got Eduardo Escobar, people don't realize how good they are. And they got better just the fact that the Cubs basically bailed out. So the Cubs are going to be an easy team to beat. So they improved a little bit, but the good thing is that division didn't strengthen itself at all. So the Brewers were kind of winners in that regard. And the Dodgers, like I said, anytime you can get Scherzer and Turner, and we all thought that Scherzer, West Coast, might very well go to Padres or even the Giants, but he's a Dodger. And the big surprise there, Trey Turner. He's huge. He's one of the top 10, 20 players in baseball right now. And Dodgers riddled with injuries, but they always know how to tool up, don't they? And like I said, The White Sox just keep getting better. They've added some missing pieces, and I don't think anyone's catching the White Sox. Now, the Yankees have a way to go in the standings, but they did address their needs, the left-handed bat. Will it be enough for them to do it? I don't know. But the good thing is they did address their needs, and that's what you need to do at this point in time. And what were the biggest surprises? I don't think anyone really expected the Cubs or the Nationals to really blow it up like they did, but they did blow it up. That's for sure. And the Twins traded José Berríos, but they got two great players in return. And so I think Twins actually got the benefit of that, and that's how you're going to win. And the other shocker was the Rockies. The Rockies were dumping everyone. They wanted to get rid of Arenado so bad. They kept Trevor Story and didn't make any big deals at the deadline. So I don't know what's going through their heads. And it was good to see the Braves. They're not standing by. A lot of teams like the Phillies and the Braves think they can catch the Mets. Well, those are the two main teams, and they're going for it. And some of the key chips in the trades were injured players. So some teams are willing to wait out an injury for next year or whatever, like Pete Crow Armstrong with the Mets going in the Cubs deal and Nick Madrigal going in the Cubs deal with the White Sox. So teams are willing to wait. You got to be patient sometimes in baseball, and these teams are waiting. And how about the Padres? They did get Adam Frazier, but there was no big splash from the Padres yesterday. And Jesús Luzardo, he was traded. It's hard to believe because he was number 12 prospects in all of baseball at the start of 2020. He was the A's game one starter in the AL wildcard series last year. He's had a rough year, and he was traded for a rental position player. So just goes to show you, as quick as you go up, you can go down. Now we got some good comments here from Bruce Barons. Bruce is actually should have been my co-host for this. He made some good comments. He says the commissioner should not allow the Cubs Nationals to strip their clubs their talent. Imagine the fans of those two teams. He says the Dodgers 2021 are the Yankees of the 90s. They do not care about the luxury tax, and they're just winning, baby. If they can win this one again, it shows you can win at all costs here. If they don't, then it's a major disappointment for them. So they're in it to win it. And I think the team that they'll probably have to end up beating this year is the White Sox. And even Bruce says the White Sox are the best club in the shadows. Their pitching staff is the best. And Bruce Barron says too many prospects for Toronto. I guess you're talking about the trade for Berríos? Probably. And Bruce compliments the trade by Cashman for Anthony Rizzo and Gallo. So I agree with you. And he's saying that the Yankees stole Rizzo from the Sox. Yeah, I'd heard he was potentially going to the White Sox too. Tony, thanks for the great info comment. Really appreciate it. And Bruce Barons cuts the Indians. I guess next year it'll be the Guardians chase when he says they just don't want to pay their stars. And Bruce Barons is saying Trevor Story will leave. So if he leaves, they got nothing for him. So, again, great comments from all you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Haven't done one for a while. I'm going to try and do more and more. I've been a little bit busy. But if you ever want to subscribe to this YouTube cast, it's just hit the subscribe button below. You'll be notified every time one is going live or one has been uploaded. So it'd be great if you did that. And if you like it, like it. If you're not part of the baseball group and you're not watching this on YouTube, subscribe to Baseball Way of Life. We're on Facebook. We're almost 10,000 strong. And we'd love to have you. Great conversation every day. So that's it for now. Again, thank you for all your support. Thanks for thanks for being great fans. And Bruce is saying, what time? Well, I never know what time it is. And I don't know what time it is, but you'll see when it's going to be scheduled. Sometimes I do them like an hour, give an hour advance notice, half hour. Like today, I accidentally scheduled this one for 11:30 tonight. What I didn't realize was I meant 11:30 this morning. So my apologies on that, but I do schedule them in advance, and you'll see it if you're on the Facebook, but there is no time. During the week, I'm making a promise to try and get them up by 7 o'clock in the morning, and if not, 8:15 would be my time. I had a respect to another person who does YouTube casts. I give him a 15-minute window in the morning. So either be 7 o'clock in the morning or 8:15 Monday to Friday, because I do work during the day and I'm up at that point. and sometimes I'll do them during the day, but the weekend, I'm scatterbrained all over the place, so they'll pop up anytime. But you will see them scheduled. And again, thanks for asking, Bruce. And to everyone out there who's been watching, fantastic, great feedback. And like I said, keep watching, subscribe, and hopefully you can leave a comment or two in the future and you can be a participant. And also, I want to say, if you ever want to come on live with me, just let me know. I can schedule it so we have a split screen with however many people, and we can have an open conversation about any topic. Food for thought there. Think about that. So enjoy the day of baseball today. I'm going to the Met game tonight, so it's probably my last broadcast of the day, but I'll talk to you tomorrow. And enjoy the day, enjoy the summer, play ball, and thanks again for all your support. Take care, guys.